Well, hello, Eric. It's good to speak with you today, and I look forward to hearing your views on operations research and how it can affect the performance of supply chains. Could you start by providing a brief background of yourself?
Sure, Dustin. I'm a supply chain optimization and network design professional. I'm an industrial engineer, and I hold an MBA, and I also an APIX certified supply chain professional. I started my career in logistics operations back in 1995, working for Holcim, who is the second largest manufacturer of cement and mineral components, in its sister company in Mexico, Holcim Apasco, being my last position there as a terminal manager. Then in 2003, I got transferred to work in the Holcim's U.S. sister company, and that's how I came to the U.S., as a matter of fact. A year later, I began my involvement with operational research techniques and tools by utilizing network design tools to enhance the performance of Holcim supply chains by balancing supply demand for a distribution network of 15 plants, 77 terminals, and 85 different products across the U.S. and Canada. As a supply chain manager, I took these tools and step ahead and started to use it to in strategic projects like such as plant closures and introduction of new products, in order to find what's the better way to do that. Afterwards, I transitioned into a more consulting role, working independently. I implemented a network design tool for coke fertilizer, and then I used discrete simulation, which is another operation research tool, to correctly right-size the fleet for an important limestone slurry producer in Texas. I formally joined CGN and Associates, a business consulting firm, in the summer of 2010, where I led a couple of supply chain optimization projects for a heavy equipment manufacturer. And later, and after that, I joined Cargill in order to help them with the designed processes, leveraging the SAP APO tool in order to optimize those processes and have a better supply chain design for their business units.
Thank you. And how can operations research techniques be used to improve supply chains, the performance of supply chains?
Okay, operational research basically applies advanced analytical methods to help businesses and decision makers make better decisions. As you know, nowadays pressure on corporations to squeeze margin, the increase in supply chain complexity, and the risk associated with that greatly increments the needs of having an holistic or an end-to-end view of the supply chain. This now is possible with the development or with the advancement of computing power, and also with the advancement of mathematical algorithms as well. Just to mention network optimization and discrete simulation among a couple of operation research tools, network design ensures that an end-to-end or an holistic view is for problem solving is being used. So we are assured that we are optimizing the entire company, not just a region. It also provides the flexibility of doing several or running several what-if scenarios according to as many variables or as many business initiatives that the organization is pursuing. And last but not least, you can mimic the behavior of supply chains, how the supply chain, how the operations are going to behave under a certain set of restrictions without committing to an initial investment. So organizations can use those techniques to see how well their idea is going to behave without having to invest a huge amount of money in advance.
And why is this important?
You know, having an holistic or an end-to-end view of your supply chain, it's key for organizations nowadays. So there are, by doing these, organizations make sure that they are not sub-optimizing. It also fosters collaboration across departments. What we are trying to do here basically is optimize or have the best solution given certain restrictions or constraints for the entire end-to-end supply chain, not just what benefits the P&L of a certain region or a certain district. Also, utilizing operation research tools and techniques kind of removes the bias, the subjective bias that management or decision makers may have, because even a penny can make a difference between picking an alternative or another. This is kind of one of its greatest advantage, but also one of its I wouldn't say caveats, but also points to be aware of, because at the end of the day, it's a tool, and it does not substitute a good business judgment, right? So finally, I would add that operation research tools improves the flexibility of businesses and supply chains, since it's allowed them to run several scenarios, what-if scenarios of businesses, from them the nimbleness that they use specifically in this economic situation and market conditions.
And my last question is, who should implement the techniques?
Typically, those roles, Dustin, fall within the supply chain department, right? I've seen supply chain analysts or managers performing those roles. Some developed organizations already are starting to implement a supply chain design competency within them, in where besides network optimization, they're starting to apply discrete simulations and some other tools. But the main point I want to bring up here is that regardless of the people or the department that implements here, the important point here is that collaboration has to be fostered and has to be propagated because these kind of roles, you are dealing with huge amounts of data, and you have to validate and clean up data so that your result is credible to your audience.
Thanks, Eric, for sharing your views on operations and optimizing the supply chain.
You're welcome, Dustin. Thanks for interviewing me.
Thank you.